Yes, sir. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy RegDolla. Welcome back to the Golden NBA series, and we're at the January 1st check-in, and we got a lot to get into. We about to run through the standings and see where everybody's at. We're about like 2 or 3 months into the season, about 30 games played, 30 plus games into it. We about to take a look at the standings in both conferences, go through the rookie report, and see what the draft class is looking like. Are they living up to the hype or not? Look at the team stats, the top offensive ratings, defensive ratings, to see who's at the top of some of the leaderboards and the league leaders in scoring. And finish it off, we could take a look at the MVP race, all the award races, and we can't forget about next year's class. January time, a lot of things could possibly change around this time. So let's see if Dio Wright is still the number one pick, and if anything happened. And also, we could take a look at some of the team intel, because January 1st, about a month away from the trade deadline. Teams finally seeing how their team is from the free agency movements and just all the movements going on in the league. So we're about to take a look at the team intel, see who's selling, who's looking to contend, buying, and everything like that. So let's get into it. Leave a like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as we trying to reach a goal at least 10 likes in every single one of these Golden NBA videos. And also hit the subscribe button as well. And let's get into it. Starting it off, let's start off with the rookie report. Let's see what the draft class looking like. At number one, at the top, Rich Mack, averaging 26.5 points per game, 11 boards. He's obviously going to be the runaway for the rookie of the year. We already saw his first game in action going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. And he took it right to them. 26, 27, and 23. Had 4 blocks. Had a lot of other really good performances. And he had a 2-game stretch. Where is it at? Right here. 41 and 20 against Louisville. Then they put up 160 on him. Hey, yo. 41 and 20 and 5 blocks. And then 2 days later, 49 and 13 in a more much needed game as they won it by 5 points. He's had a lot of dominant performances. Going to be the runaway rookie of the year with these numbers. Danny Tyler averaging 24 a game. I said it. The best shooting prospect. He went first out of all the other point guards, other Carlton Davis and Austin Mack. It was kind of a shaky call. I wasn't really confident in that decision, but I just felt like Danny Tyler might have been the right pick, and it's looking like it right now. Shooting a nuclear percentage from the field, 24 a game, handed the keys day one. It's an expansion team, so they really don't got no other talent. So he's taking the most shots out of everybody in this class. 19 shots per game. Like, not every single star player in the league takes 19 shots a game. Like, he's handed the keys, but you gotta give a shout out to him. He ain't fumble it. He ain't fumble at all. Austin Mack, third in scoring out of the rookie class. We got 6 guys in this draft class averaging at least 20 a game. Like, Carlton Davis, he's averaging 19 and 8 a game. He'll be the runaway rookie of the year in most other rookie classes, but this ain't your average one, dog. Ain't your average one. What was I? Austin Mack, he's averaging 21, 5, and 6. Jeremy Goodson and Reggie Mack, we got to kind of lump those two together. The top 3 guys, 2 top 3 guys, probably the best scorers in the class, I think, overall to me. Even though other guys, well, Rich Mack, obviously, in that discussion, let me put some respect on his name. 27 a game on 73%. But on the perimeter, 57% for the field and 56 for 3. Although he's not having a high volume of 3-point shots, is nuts. Jeremy Goodson is averaging 21 points per game on 57% from 3 and 56 from the 3-point line. Gotta take a look at his shot chart. Shooting 70% of restricted area, and mid-range is money. Straight butter. A better version of DeMar DeRozan. And then at the 3-point line, I don't know, like, this kind of feels like damn near impossible to shoot this good, even though like the volume is this low. But he is sniping it for downtown in a limited attempts. I think he's taking about 2 a game. And then moving on to Reggie Mack, he's averaging 21 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and about 0.7 blocks. Shooting 53, 42, and 82. So another efficient guy in this class. Shooting not as good in the restricted area, 64%, not as good as Jeremy Goodson. But that mid-range though, that thing butter. That thing is money. That thing is chicken. This is at like all-time percentage. I know KD, and what he's doing right now in real life. He's been injured, but when he's been playing, I think he's having one of the greatest mid-range seasons of all time, like percentage-wise. Reggie Mack is in this conversation. He's in this conversation. He's shooting above 50% every single spot. Shooting above 52%. The right wing, mid-range, one dribble pull. I already know he get into. One dribble pull up cash. Could rise over anybody. Could get to his spots. He's special. He's special, dog. He's special. 21, 7, and 5. Whew. Mo Davis averaging 20 points a game. Carlton. There's so much guys to highlight. Like, I feel like I can't get everybody their flowers in this video right now. So much guys to highlight. You got at least 20 guys in this class averaging at least 10 a game. 10 a game, and multiple other guys are still contributing as well. And if I'm looking to see if anybody is really folding out of this class, is really nobody. Really nobody yet. Like, these guys, they don't got expectations. Like, second round pick, he's having a bad year. Whatever. Whatever. Who cares? But there's no lottery pick or anybody. Like, everybody's really kind of living up to the hype. Kyle Beacham, averaging 9.6 assists a game. You kind of want him to be more of a scoring threat, but you kind of knew that coming in. That wasn't really his strong suit, being a scorer. He's facilitating that thing, but you just got to get a Wembanyama, and he know what to do with it. He know what to do with it. But let's hop into the standings and see where everybody at. In the East, we can take a look at who has the best record overall. So regardless of conferences, the Sixers had the best record, 26-8. Then the Suns, Clippers, Nuggets, Clippers. The Knicks had the 5th best record in the league, tied with the Dallas Mavericks. The Knicks, we gotta talk about them. The surprise team of the year, I gotta give it to them. Basically, only changes that they made: Johnny O'Brien, new head coach. Tom Thibodeau had to go, but I think he got a job in Seattle. So you got Johnny O'Brien's new head coach, Jalen Brunson. He was here last year. R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin. This is basically the same team as last year, but one guy, the number 1 pick, Reggie Mack. Reggie Mack has made an immediate impact. You got to give a shout out to him. Shout out to him. The new king of New York. We gotta give him the crown now. Gotta give him the crown now. That John broke on the right wing from the 3-point line, but we ain't gonna talk about that because he's having a special rookie season. A special rookie season, leading the team in a victory, averaging 21 a game. Is he leading the team in scoring? I know you got Jalen Brunson having probably another good year, averaging around 20 points, 8 assists as well. So it looks like Reggie Mack is leading this team in scoring. RJ Barrett took a little bit of a step back. He's still averaging 20 a game, but he's shooting 40% from 3. He's falling in line though. This team is looking really good. Obi Toppin finally getting the starting spot. Mitchell Robinson protecting the rim. Like, this team is, like, I see it. I know they definitely have a good defensive identity with this roster, and they're gonna compete every single night. Gotta give a shout out to the Knicks. The Sixers, I was definitely down them in the preseason video, but they got a squad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the shooting that they got, they definitely don't got that in real life. Clay Hooper, knockdown. He's shooting 37% from 3, but he can knock it down. You got Bogdanovich though, that could stretch it out. D'Anthony Melton coming off the bench. Joe Harris, what is he shooting from 3? 48%. And you still got MP, who's one of the best players in the league. The Phoenix Suns got a little bit of shakeup. They picked up Tyus Jones. Kason Wallace is their starter though. He is injured. Devin Booker hooping, looking like an MVP player, averaging 35 a game. Like, if he's doing this, just imagine what Kobe would have been doing in this era. Like, 35 a game is really crazy. On the second best team in the league, he got to be leading an MVP for that. Mikal Bridges, DeMar DeRozan, they got Clint Capella, Cam Johnson, Tyson Dawkins, who they drafted. They got a really good team. They got rid of CP3, so they got the stank out of there. Denver Nuggets, defending champs. Ain't much to really talk about them. The Clippers is good. Dallas, they got Kyrie and Luka. Golden State basically got everybody 22-12. Grizzlies. All right, let's separate this by conferences and see where everybody is looking at. The Eastern Conference is stacked. The Sixers, number 1. The Knicks, I don't even know if I really could say that they're a contender. Like, we gotta hold down on giving on that label, contender. But you got the Knicks is also up there in the discussions. The Magic is a tough team. You got Paulo Franz and Zach LaVine as like the big three. Amen Thompson and Wendell Carter. That's as good as the starting five as like almost any team in the league. The Cavaliers, they still missing Jared Allen, but they made it to the NBA Finals last year. The New Orleans Pelicans headed to the Eastern Conference. You got B.I. and Zion. Chris Middleton recently just came back. You got the Bucks sitting at the 6th spot, only 5 games above 500. The Celtics 19-14. Jaylen Brown has a broken wrist. They at the 7th spot. The Detroit Pistons starting to really come up now. You got Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham taking another leap. Miles Bridges is still here. He's having one of his best years though. I'll probably say his best year. Grant Williams, Jalen Duran getting older. Isaiah Stewart, GG Jackson, Malik Monk bringing the scoring. So they got a really good team. And the Atlanta Hawks is sitting at the 9th spot, 3 games above 500. They got AD, DeJounte, Trae Young. They're projected to be, I think, the best team in the league. And they ain't that. Definitely ain't that. But I think DeJounte got hurt. And that's going to be like one of the biggest deciding factors. Can everybody stay healthy, especially out of their big three? Because if one of them is out, look at their bench, bro. Look at their bench. Enough said. We in like 2025. Pat Bev ain't contributing to nothing. Juancho Hernan Gomez, like Damian Lee, Nazir Little. Like, let's be for real. They don't have no depth at all. The Chicago Bulls, a little bit of surprise team. Like, Jalen Suggs, he's not been having that good of a year. He's been a disappointment. We might have to throw around that B word I don't like to throw around. But Jalen Suggs has really been disappointing. Hasn't taken a leap at all, grown at all as a scorer or a shooter. Nick Smith, he got a starting spot, but he's still not shooting it that well. Jeremy Goodson he's transformed this team. Patrick Williams, his jumper is broke, having a career low shooting, averaging a career high in points though. And DeAndre ain't still giving you 20 and 10. So it's really Jeremy Goodson that what he's providing for this team is why they're 2 games above 500 and surprising everybody. The Miami Heat are at the 11th spot out of the play-in, 2 games above 500, and they got Julius Randle, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler. Yeah, he's cooked. Jimmy is washed. But I know he's still providing something on the defensive end. They added Adrian Sparks. Charlotte, they having a little bit of a better season than I thought. LaMelo, he's having a really good year, averaging 27 and 11 a game. The rest of the team, Mark Williams, he was battling injury a little bit. Not shooting as well as I expected him to be. Norman Powell, looking like one of the best 6 men though. The league is just deep. Pacers 14 and 18. Let's look at the bottom. The Toronto Raptors, one of the most disappointing teams. But Scoot has been hurt and Cat has been out of the lineup. Same thing as last year, but just disappointing. Cam Thomas getting his game off though. Let him rock. Let Cam rock. And then the worst team in the league is the Washington Wizards. Poverty franchise. They paid Fran VanVleet and look what he's doing. 36% for the. How you shooting worse from the field than you are from the 3-point line? His 2-point percentage has to be in the gutters. He's shooting 31% in the restricted area. Get him out of the league. This brother stinks. Bradley Beal is out. Brandon Miller, let's see what he was doing. He was looking on fraud watch in his rookie year. All right, he's not doing terrible. That's not the worst numbers. It's not great, but it's not the worst. A little bit of progress, and they this bad, and he still can't get over 30 minutes. It's kind of wild. You got John Collins and Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton having a really good year. John Collins is still solid. They just stink. Yeah, Wes Unseld, he definitely got to be counting his days. Let's look at the Western Conference. Don't get it twisted. The West is stacked too. You got the Suns, Nuggets, the Clippers having a good year, Dallas at 4, Golden State, Grizzlies at 6, So dang, oh my god. So the Grizzlies would be the third seed in the Eastern Conference. That's how good the West is. You got 6 teams that could have a case for making it to the NBA Finals. The Houston Rockets sitting at 7. This is when things really start to get interesting. Like the 7 and down. Houston Rockets having a surprise year. Biggest surprise team in the Western Conference. You got to give them that label. They added a new head coach, Dave Yeager. So he might be the reason. They finally stopped playing AAU basketball. They finally settled down into real hoops. And finally, like an NBA team. Markelle Fultz starting at point guard, giving them an actual playmaker alongside Jalen Green. Saddiq Bey, he's not shooting good from the field. 2-point percentage, but shooting 37% from 3. The Rockets just didn't have anybody that could really space the floor like that, like a good off-ball shooter. So Saddiq Bey, first season for Houston. Jabari Smith, Alperen Sengun. Like this team looks like it makes way more sense than it does. Then with KPJ starting at the point guard spot, and they be playing Eric Gordon at the 3 times. Like, what are they doing? I don't know. Tari Eason coming off the bench, Ty Washington, Daniel Gafford, Asar Thompson. So this looks solid. They look solid. Got to give a shout out to them because I wasn't expecting them to be good. And disappointing team, the OKC Thunder. A game below 500, and we saw what Rich Mack was doing. We saw the numbers he was putting up. So what's going on? What is going on with this team? How the hell are they a game below 500? And Shea, he's not in the lineup right now, but he hasn't missed like that many games. Josh Giddey, let's see what he's doing. Career high in assists, 11 assists. Assist to turnover ratio is through the roof. 10.9 assists to 1.4. Turnovers is OD. Shooting 51, 44, and 67. So he doing his job. KD averaging 20 on 52, 48, and 97. But you got like a big 3. So he taking a step back at age 36. Chet Holmgren, he's not having as good as a year as he did his rookie year, but it makes sense because you got Rich Mack and you see what he's doing. He basically the number 1 option. Fell into the number 1 option with KD and Chet. That's how goated he is in his rookie year. You got Lou Dort coming off the bench. Jalen Williams averaging 14 on good shooting splits. Jarris Walker shooting 50%, but he really provides a defense. And where's Shea at? He averaging 21 and 10 assists a game. Did James Harden and Russell Westbrook average a double? Like, did they both average double-digit assists when it was on the Rockets? I don't remember, but that's probably the highest assist duo in the league since them. What is going on? Like, how is this team 1 game below 500? Don't make any sense. Utah at number 9. The Los Angeles Lakers 16 and 20, so they're in the play-in right now. Let's look at the new look team. Lonzo, Max Christie, AJ Griffin, Shane Baker, and Oyeka is they starting 5. Jonathan Isaac, Austin Reeves, Thomas Bryant, Chris Murray. They got a solid team. Solid team, no real star, but AJ Griffin looks like he's starting to ascend to that star. Averaging 20 points per game, taking a leap. Finally shooting above 40% from 3. We all know he is a sniper, and he looks to be their franchise player. Shout out to AJ Griffin. And the two other disappointing teams in the Western Conference, for whatever reason, the Minnesota Timberwolves are having a down year. 4 games below 500. But they basically tied at the 10th spot, so they cool for right now. There's still a lot of time to turn it around, but you got Anthony Edwards. He was going stupid last year. I don't know what's going on. How do you go from 32.5 points to 26? Having a career low in minutes played per game, so I don't know what's going on with that. He might have been battling injury. That could be the only reason. He's not playing right now. You got Jet Howard, who's averaging 17 a game, mostly coming off the bench, but he's starting right now. Jaden McDaniels. It might be CP3. Stinking it up from the 3-point line. Pascal Siakam. Like, you got Jaden McDaniels, Pascal, Anthony Edwards, and Rudy Gobert. Like, those 4 players, when healthy, like, defensively, that should be OD. And the bench isn't terrible. Sacramento Kings, they've been battling more injury. De'Aaron Fox, he just came back. Jabari Mack is out of the lineup right now. But they should be better than what they are. And taking a look at the bottom of the West, San Antonio, they're garbage. They're garbage. St. Louis, Vancouver, Las Vegas Venom, Sonics, 4 expansion teams, not good. Not a surprise though. So the other two expansion teams in the Eastern Conference, the Badgers and Force. All right, so yeah. So the Badgers had the best record. The Force had the best record out of all the expansion teams. And let's move into the team intel. Let's see what that looking like. So the Knicks is still listed as rebuilding, and I think that's kind of obvious because you still got a lot of young guys. You still got RJ. He's 24. Reggie Mack's still young. I'm not mad that they still rebuilding. You don't want to rush the process and go all in. You saw what happened to the Hawks. Lakers obviously rebuilding. Well, actually, let's look at the trade block too. We got to take a look at that. Reggie Mack is obviously untouchable. They got both bigs on the trade block. That's kind of funny. The Mavericks still buying. They got Jalen Smith, Josh Green on the trade block. All right, so we got our first selling team right here. The Indiana Pacers. Buddy Hield on the market. PJ Washington's on the market. That kind of makes sense. I don't think the PJ Washington experiment has really worked out. Let's see what they're doing. Max Lewis injured. PJ Washington, he not shooting efficient enough for me. Not shooting efficient enough. And Buddy Hield, he's still back and he's still getting to it. I know he's missed games, but in the games that he's played, he's having a nuclear season so far, and should definitely warrant a first round pick for a contender if they need some shooting. The Pelicans, they surprisingly got Miles Turner. I think they picked him up last year. He's on a trade block for whatever reason, but he's probably not gonna get moved. There's no point in really moving him. Dylan Brooks is on the trade block. That's kind of funny. But he could help a team defensively though. Even though he be shooting some wild shots, that's his problem. He don't know his role at times. And how the Phoenix Suns are a contended team and got Miles Bridges, Cam Johnson, they got their whole wings on the trade block. That's crazy. Other than Devin Booker, but it just doesn't make sense to break up this team unless you could get a superstar player. Unless they could get Tatum. Other than that, there's no point in really making any moves. You this good, you gotta ride it out. The Thunder are still listed as contenders. Did they move too fast? Is that their problem? Did they move too fast? Because I can't say that they really did though. Because picking up KD, he fits well with the team. He's having a really good year. I don't get it. We could take a look at the top offensive ratings after this. The Minnesota Timberwolves looking to contend, but they got Pascal on the market. How Pascal look in Phoenix? I don't know what move they'll exactly do. The Rose and Cam Johnson for Pascal and picks or something like that. I don't know. I might be giving away my formula. Let me shut up. The Portland Trailblazers are selling. Dame isn't untouchable, but he's not on the trade block. What do we do with Damian Lillard? Is it time that we actually free Damian Lillard from the shackles that he's on and finally decide to try and win? Or let him just ride it out? Because I think I might just let him ride it out. It don't seem like he really gonna leave. They got Klay Thompson though on the trade block. That's interesting. Nick Claxton. Nobody wants Fred VanVleet. they paid him the bag. They're gonna have to pay for that. They got to bring back the amnesty clause or something. Cause that's the worst contract than when they gave Gilbert Arenas that contract. Nick Claxton. Yeah, they gotta free him. Jordan Clarkson, Herb Jones. They paid Herb the bag and they already looking to trade him. Malik Beasley. All right. So you kind of got a lot of teams that's looking to sell. So the trade deadline episode might get crazy. It might get crazy. I know it might not be what it is in real life though. We're not gonna see a KD move or a Kyrie move happen in real life, but it might be active. The way it's looking, a lot of teams are selling, looking to get rid of a lot of vets. And if contending pieces, they want to give us some draft picks, that might be the way. Tyrese Maxey on the trade block and. Nobody's really free. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Tyrese Maxey on a contending team, 26-8, and I'm on a trade block. If I'm him, I'm sick. If I'm hearing that, what's going on? DeAndre Ayton is surprisingly on a trade block. It kind of makes sense to capitalize on him because this team ain't really doing nothing. If we keeping it a buck, like with their backcourt, they're not going any. Like if they make it to the playoffs or playing, they're gonna get smoked because their backcourt is not good. It's not up to par with other backcourts in the league. And DeAndre, and you might as well sell on him where he's like his value is probably at his all-time highest, I guess. Coming off 2 seasons where he's finally reached the 20-10 mark, you could get something from him. Cavaliers buying, Celtics side. So the Clippers are one of the rare teams that don't have anybody on their trade block. DeJounte Murray is on the trade block. I think I might have called it. I don't know if I said that, but he might have to go. With all due respect to DeJounte, but they need like more pieces. They need to turn him into like 2 or 3 rotation guys. Like it's kind of like the thing with like Westbrook. You got to divide his contract into like 3 quality rotation guys and get depth to the roster. Not to say that DeJounte a bad player or anything, but they just don't have any type of depth. Kelly Oubre is also on the trade block as well. Jimmy Butler and Russell Westbrook is on the trade block for the Miami Heat. Jimmy getting paid the bag. He's not going anywhere. And Kevin Porter Jr. and Norman Powell is on the trade block as well. So this giving y'all a little sneak peek of players that could be traded. Domantas Sabonis is on the trade block. The Sacramento Kings is selling. I don't think they ever made the playoffs. I noticed, where is it? Team history. Dog, it's still... Yo, no. They're really about to hit the 20-year marker. I think this is about to be year 19. It's about to be year 19 of them not making the playoffs, and they're looking to sell. They can't trade unless they could get something good for Sabonis. It's just gonna look like another failure, especially with the Tyrese Halliburton trade. I know the Pacers aren't really on anything either, but that's just gonna look bad. You got Kevin Huerter on the market too. You hate to see it. So that's the whole team intel. Let's take a look at the top offenses and top defenses in the league. Sitting at number 1, you got the Phoenix Suns. D-Book MVP, yo. D-Book is MVP. Like, it really shouldn't even be discussion. 35 a game. You on the best team in the league, the best offense in the league. What we talking about? What more is there else to say in the discussion? And I know they got one of the best defenses in the league. But we're going to get into that. The Mavericks, number 2. They got Kyrie and Luka. Makes sense. Pelicans, B.I., CJ, Zion, the Magic. All right, so a lot of these make sense. OKC is 5th in offense, but they under 500. Sixers also up here. Celtics. New York Knicks is also a top 10 offensive team, which is a surprise. Cavaliers, Timberwolves is also up here, but their defense looks disappointing. The offensive threshold is really high. Like the Denver Nuggets 115 offensive rating, 13 in the league. That's crazy. And the bottom offensive teams is the San Antonio Spurs have the worst offense. The Louisville Badgers, the Wizards. San Antonio having the worst offense, kind of surprising. What's going on? Kyle Beacham, he not really a scorer. Kind of makes sense. But he not shooting terrible. Devin Vassell shooting good. Keldon Johnson. Oh yeah, they probably about to try and run him out of San Antonio the way he playing. He's having a bad year. Bad year for Keldon Johnson. Jeremy Suhan still hasn't developed a jump shot. Wembanyama averaging 23 and 9. I don't know how their offense is bad. But nah, they really probably just don't have enough shooting. Cause I know Kyle Beacham ain't having a high volume of 3-point attempts. The Badgers, expansion team, it makes sense. You got a lot of expansion teams in the bottom 10. And the Kings don't have one of the best offenses. That's kind of surprising. But take a look at the best defenses. The Los Angeles Clippers, they lost a lot of the depth, but they didn't lose their three best defenders. They still got Alex Caruso, Kawhi, PG, Kessler Edwards is a really good defender. Zubac, solid rim protector as well. They got the best defense. 104.9, especially like in the league. The talent that we have in the league, having this good of a defense is special. The Denver Nuggets, I don't know how in the hell that they got this good of a defense. They got Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, and Nikola Jokic starting. I don't know what they're doing, what the formula is, but if they could do that in the playoffs, they might be well on their way to another championship. Because defense is definitely the swing factor for them. Miami Heat is also up here. The Sixers, the Suns, the Knicks, Grizzlies, Warriors also. Wow. The Houston Rockets have a top 10 defense in the league. They have the same defensive rating as the Milwaukee Bucks. Nah, Dave Yeager deserves his flowers, yo. Dave Yeager deserves his flowers. Like, if they really make a playoffs, like, you got to give him the coach of the year. If the Houston Rockets make the playoffs, you got to give him coach of the year. Actually, nah, Johnny O'Brien got something to say about that. He got something to say about that. One of the best teams in the league. But Dave Yeager, shout out to him. Worst defenses in the league. The Jazz #1, Wizards, Raptors. The Hawks is up there. They got AD anchoring their defense. They got one of the worst defenses. The Timberwolves and Celtics have one of the worst defenses. Kind of surprising, like with the personnel that they have. And the Thunder as well. They don't have a good defense, but they have. This might be a good indicator. What the hell is going on? This is the field goals against. Like, are they not defending the three or something? Because at the rim, 62% from three. Like, what are other teams shooting? You expect a team like them to kind of be one of the best at protecting the rim. But the Sixers might be up there at the best team protecting the rim. Just like scrolling through all this. And damn. Kings cannot protect the rim at all. So the Thunder is not as good as you really expect them to protect the rim. I don't know what the hell going on. Like, they fouling too much or something? 3-point line. I think there's a stat where you could just look at the 3-point line. They good at defending that. So the Huskies are the worst team at defending the three. The Thunder sit at 9. Sheesh. Teams they be dotting them things against the Huskies. 15 made threes a game. Like, teams definitely be going on historic nights. Nah, they definitely be going on a historic night against the Lakers. Like, I'm just thinking about, like, when Matisse Thybulle, the other night when they played the Blazers, Damian Lillard, he obviously went off, but Matisse Thybulle was had like 4 threes. Najee Little was sniping them Johns. I'm like, yo, what is going on? The Denver Nuggets are the best at defending in three, 32%. That's insane. And they had the best opponent. Nah, they defense. What the hell? The Jokic turned into defense player of the year over the night or something? I don't know what the hell is going on. And the Celtics, the Thunder, the Hawks, the T-Wolves, all among one of the worst teams in opponent field goal percentage. And that's telling why a lot of them are a little bit disappointed. They're not guarding as good as at least I expected. But we got a couple things to look at before we get out of this video. This John running long. If you made it this far, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We here with it. It's the Golden NBA series. Well into week 1. The next episodes, we gonna have 3 more games, and then we gonna have the trade deadline. Then we gonna have All-Star Weekend. See what's up with that. And then 3 more games, and then we about to hop into the playoffs. Feel me? So hit the like button, stay notified. But we still got a couple more. Taking a look at the league leaders in scoring. D-Book averaging 35. Rich Mack leading in rebounds, averaging 11. Tyrese averaging 11.5 assists. Kayson Wallace, shout out to him, averaging 2.2 steals a game. You got Kayson Wallace and Mikal Bridges on the perimeter defensively. Then Clint Capella still solid defensively. I know DeMar DeRozan a plate, but Mikal Bridges and Kayson Wallace, like that's a duo defensively. Shout out to Kayson. Walker Kessler is leading in blocks, but they got the worst defense in the league. DeAndre ain't a hack. Rich Mack is leading field goal percentage. Fred VanVleet should be ashamed of himself. And I'll see you too, Sadiq Bey. Jaden Ivey, John broke. Kyle Kuzma's having a Kyle Kuzma showing terrible. Aaron Gordon and Victor Oladipo showing terrible. Buddy Hield spraying that John. Jeremy Goodson really. Well, I guess Buddy Hield does qualify. Second in 3-point percentage, Jeremy Goodson. Who would have thought? Then getting to the line of most, Zion Williamson. Benedict Mathurin getting with the most points per game. The highest plus minus is Devin Booker. Yeah, he's MVP. He's MVP. And speaking about MVP, let's take a look at the award races. And 2K, dog. This is why I'm the commissioner of the league, and this is not happening. How the hell is Devin Booker not in the top 5 for MVP? It's insane to me. It's crazy. Like, we don't even gotta see the rest of this list. It don't even matter. Like, Devin Booker's the MVP. Rich Mack, Rookie of the Year. That's gonna be run away. Danny Tyler not being on this list is crazy too as well. The voters just gotta be drunk. If Joe Banks wins 6 Man of the Year, he'll be the first rookie to do it since. Do y'all know? This is trivia. First one since Ben Gordon. Player of the Year, you got Victor Wembanyama at number 1, but they got one of the worst teams in the league. The Hawks got one of the worst defenses. AD is somehow here. Walker Kessler is anchoring the worst defense as well. I don't know where the Bucks rank, but Giannis is definitely in the conversation. Joel Embiid has a top 10 defense. Most improved, Jaden Hardy looks like he's taking that leap, and he has his award on lock, averaging 23 a game. One from averaging 11 last year, so he hooping. But his teammate, James Wiseman, might have something to say. Finally getting away from Golden State, and this is the best thing that ever happened to him. Healthy, getting minutes in a new environment. Looks like they're building a big three with James Wiseman, Jaden Hardy, and Austin Mack for Las Vegas, averaging 19 and 9. Shout out to him for turning his career around. And then you got Emmanuel quickly averaging 17 as well. I don't know how AJ Griffin's not on this list, but as you can see, 2K don't got too good of brains when it comes to this. Let's take a look at the big board. And at number 1, Marquise Allen has overtaken Dior Wright as the number 1 spot. And if you've seen the Hoop Summit game, it's to the surprise of nobody. Marquise Allen was just as good as anybody. I think he was the best player on the court, even though he didn't win MVP because they didn't win, and Dior Wright ended up taking that. But Marquise Allen is as good as a scorer as anybody in this class. Dior still sits at number 2 in the top 2 spot. Kayvon Kabongo at 3, Ricky Cruz at 4 from Bama, Tevin Wilson, Scotty Brown, Josh Tillman, Dominique Odom, the highest returner on this list. Caleb Taylor, Latrell Cross. I'm still surprised that Jimbo Jackson's not rated as high. But to finish off this video, we could take a look at a mock draft, and the Washington Wizards had the number 1 pick, and they still have Dior Wright going number 1 pick. And this kind of makes sense since they have Bradley Beal still on the roster, and he is their number 1 guy. But honestly, what I was saying, Washington, they need to just blow it up. They stink. And Dior Wright, if he could save the franchise, hopefully. But ain't too much hope over there. The Badgers at number 2, they got Marquise Allen going over there. Him and Devontae Tucker, that duo, that scoring duo, will really be OD if that happened. At number 3, Kayvon Kabongo pairing up with Danny Tyler. The Raptors getting Ricky Cruz, which doesn't make sense since they got Scoot Henderson. 5, Tevin Wilson. So this isn't a terrible mock draft. There's so much talent in this class. Just to run through the rest of this first round. And I think we're about to end this video off here. If you made it this far, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's your boy RegDolla. It's the Golden NBA series, and the next episode will be more gameplay. And then we got the trade deadline coming up. And we got All-Star Weekend. So stay tuned, stay notified, hit the bell. It's your boy RegDolla. Stay safe, be golden, and I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out here.